It is a beautiful Monday morning once again. Hello and welcome to Now Streaming. I am Gift Naji, your anchor for today. We are diving into a conversation that sits right at the intersection of culture, identity, and professionalism. I won't be doing this alone. With me in the studio is
Promising Jokadibe. Good morning, viewers, and good morning, Gift. You look good.
you too.
Thank you.
And also joining us in the studio today, I have with me Mr. Obinna Oduche. He is a political analyst. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much. Good morning, viewers.
Remember, viewers, you can be part of the conversation by calling on the number showing on your screen or sending in your comments via our social media platforms, also showing on your screen. Thank you, viewers, for staying with us. Here in Nigeria, we have some of the most vibrant and diverse traditional outfits in the world. Yet, many offices still consider cultural wears unprofessional or limited to Fridays. Meanwhile, in countries like Burkina Faso, cultural wear is embraced even in governments and business spaces. So why are we still holding on to Western dress code in our corporate world? What would it take to change the narrative? And is the Nigerian workplace ready for that change? What we wear to work says a lot about who we are. And for a culturally rich country like Nigeria, the conversations is long overdue. We've seen from Burkina Faso that it's possible to blend culture with professionalism. So perhaps it's time we ask, what are we really afraid of? Just maybe we can get the conversation ringing in our workplaces. I am still Gift Naji, your anchor, and my co-anchor, Promise Njoko. And still with me in the studio, we have Mr. Obinna Oduche, who is a political analyst. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
And now we'll be diving deep into the topic. Should cultural attire be acceptable in professional settings, as Nigeria is the case? I would like to ask you, Mr. Obinna, what do you consider as professional attire in Nigerian workplaces?
What I consider as professional attire is what the Oyibo man gave us. What is that?
But I see both of you looking quite gorgeous in your traditional attire.
I was about asking why you, the anchor, didn't come up with
You
your
see-
own cultural.
You see, now, the issue is that what happened to Africans, what happened to Nigerians, is just what I cannot explain. The white men came, they destroyed our culture, imposed their own on us, and we are still looking for ourselves. We have not been able to find ourselves. That is the problem we are facing now in Africa. Why it did not work in China is because they refuse to allow them to infiltrate their culture. That's why they used to say that Chinese are very intelligent. It's not that they are very intelligent, but what they did is that they translated all the courses to their language. And when I read with Igbo now, do you think I will fail any course? I will not fail any course. But our own case, we did not try to indigenize ourselves. We didn't want to try to indigenize ourselves. So that's why whatever we are doing in Nigeria is Oyibo man idea. Lawyers have a way of dressing. They must wear that, their wig and whatever, and their suit. If a lawyer, imagine if a lawyer comes into the court with his babanglega. You'll be surprised that the judge might chase him away. Yes, he says it's against the ethics of the profession that they don't dress like that. So I think it's time we start looking into our culture, our dressing codes. What your substance, what you are made of, is not dependent on what you put on. What you are made of is in you, and not what you put on that makes you what you are. So, for example, as a lawyer, and we decide that we're going to change our dress code to our local attire, it cannot stop the lawyer from arguing properly in a case he wants to argue on.
Very true.
So, likewise, a medical doctor, we decide that they will be dressing our local attire. It will not stop him from performing proper surgery on a patient. Likewise, other places, other professions. So I think that looking into that is going to help us. Like in Burkina Faso, you pointed out, is what they did.
Oh, yes.
They even gone ahead to rename all the streets, name against any white man in their country.
And just like you made mention of Burkina Faso just now, the burden of changing this whole our attire to cultural wares is now on the leaders, because if the leaders take the initiative, the followers will readily follow them to make that adjustment.
Definitely, it's the leaders that will lead, that will change it. That ideology is supposed to come from our leaders. But for example, now, like I said, if a lawyer wears Babanlega to come into court now, the judge will send him away. He will tell him that it's against the ethics of that profession. But if it is coming from, for example, in Burkina Faso, it came from the leaders.
Yeah.
That we need to change this mindset. And that's why they're doing it. Nobody will chase them away from the courts, for example, and nobody will chase them away from the hospitals. And wherever they go, they dress in their local attire. It makes you to know who you are. It helps you to discover yourself, that you are not actually a white man. You are a black man. There's a distinction between blacks and whites. God created us in a unique way, which is quite different from the way he created a white man. But the issue is that they have succeeded in taking over they have taken over every aspect part of our lives. So that's why we don't know ourselves any longer. And I think that if we, for example, now there are places I'll be going, I'll decide to dress in my local attire. If I go there, I will be one man, I will be an odd man out.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the way I dress. But I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of where I'm coming from. I don't care to know what others are thinking or what others are saying. Nigeria have decided that they don't want to change. They don't want to improve. By now, we are supposed to have translated all the courses in our local languages, so that when we want to read physics, we read it in you read it in your language. If you want to read maths, you read it in your language. Let me see who will say that people are not intelligent. We measure intelligence in Nigeria, the amount of English you
can speak, yeah.
Not minding, we forget to understand that English is not our mother tongue. There's no way you will speak English better than a Briton. It's their mother tongue. And a Briton cannot speak Igbo more than me, because it's my mother tongue. So we should understand that these things should start from every aspect, especially education. When we're giving our children education, they should learn education, any course in their mother tongue. It will make them to be more intelligent. That is the simple thing. So we have to start thinking now, not just trying to indigenize ourselves in economical aspect. We have to indigenize ourselves in our mindset, because that dressing code is a mindset now. That if on Monday there's a way you dress.
Corporate.
Monday through
And what is corporate?
It's not Ankara.
It's not Ankara.
It's on Fridays we wear Ankara.
Corporate is you put on tie, you wear your suit, and you wear your shoe, you move on. That is corporate. Don't you know that corporate is when you put something that is good?
Yeah.
And then your local attire is good. It makes you corporate too, but the mindset they have given us is telling you that, oh, I'm not properly dressed, I will not go to this place. I remember one day, I'm already in town, and I was called to come for a particular meeting in a particular office. And somebody by my side was telling, you can't go, you are not properly dressed. And I asked him why. He said, the cloth you are putting on will not be nice if you get to that place with it. Have you seen it? But the cloth I'm putting on, I'm comfortable with it because it's my local attire. And it happened that day was Monday. You understand? I have to go for my meeting. And nobody sent me away. But they may be saying, you're supposed to be on suit, be on this, be on that. It's not proper.
I think I agree with him, because have you seen Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala? She is 98% always on her traditional, traditional
and
outfit.
That's her trademark.
With her scarf. I used to call that her scarf, touch me and see trouble. Because the moment you touch that scarf, I think that scarf covers.
It's part of her image now.
It's just her. projecting, Nigeria, projecting Africa. God rest the soul of Her Excellency Mariam Babangida, because I remember then there was this campaign she championed, patronize made in Nigerian goods. And I remember, go and check her pictures. Most of her pictures, she's always on her traditional attire. And there's this hairstyle that she used to tie. Then I knew growing up, they used to call it Mariam Babangida. The moment you tie, they call it Mariam Babangida. Yes, I think one day I'll tie it. I'll come to this office. So Mr. Obin actually pointed it out. See, it's what we believe in, and I think our leaders need to start. We need to start from there. And I think I give kudos to President Olusegun Obasanjo, because most of the time you will see him on his agbada. The man no senduna. He's an African, and he's proud to show his Yoruba heritage. And if you so feel that I don't want to dress okay, I don't want to wear bubu on a Monday because this is a tradition.
I wanted to point it out. Some persons you can used that excuse of it's uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable. So
but
you can sew your suit with your traditional. I wish I could stand up and put on a trouser and this, and I feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But I didn't break the bank to sew this. We can patronize, and I think this goes beyond just sewing and wearing. The moment we start patronizing our own, our economy, it helps our economy grow too. But then Mr. Obina, when you were talking, you pointed out productivity and all that. So I just want to ask, do you think when we embrace all these traditions, if we are able to come as a people to embrace our traditional attire, do you think it will in any way reinforce productivity?
Definitely, because the countries that are doing it, you see that there's a lot of improvement in their countries, like the Asian world. They embrace their attire, they embrace their custom, their tradition, they embraced it. They did not allow the Western world to infiltrate it.
True.
You can see today that they are one of the best. They are growing very fast, and they are challenging the Western world. They are becoming a big threat. So, first of all is that if you indigenize yourself, it makes you to discover who you are. That's number one. Number two, it will now give you that mindset that Nigeria belongs to us.
Yeah.
This is our place, that anything I do against the progress of this country will be detrimental to me and my descendants to come. So it will make you to understand, as a leader that has that mindset, you will understand that what is happening in Burkina Faso will be happening in that same country. We are looking at a continent that in the next 5 to 10 years, that the mindset of Burkina Faso leader will be transmitted into other African countries. And if such a thing happens, I tell you that Africa will discover themselves.
Oh, yeah.
Africa is rich. Africa is what makes the Western world rich.
Yes.
This is where we have the raw materials that they are using to develop themselves. They come here, they collect raw gold, they go back, they do it and tell us and bring it back to sell to us in carats.
Do they actually collect, or they just come
They just
take?
collect. They take
they
it
steal,
and go
use the
back,
word
refine
steal.
it, bring it back and sell us
more
in carats.
expensive.
Yeah.
And it will be more expensive.
Oh, yes.
They take all our mineral
cocoa,
resources.
yeah.
And any country that tries to refine or process their resources have committed a blunder. And the leader at that place must be removed or killed so that thing will not see the light of the day. That's exactly why you see that our refineries couldn't work. Person that even brought the idea to build or that built that refinery paid for it. And after that, they made sure that our refineries will not work, so that they will continue to take the crude oil and bring it back to us at a very higher prices.
us.
So that is exactly, look at in Burkina Faso, he has built a factory that refines their gold.
Yeah.
So now they can refine their gold and sell it to a white man at a very
their own
costly
price.
at their price. So these are the things that if we indigenize our Africa, if we indigenize ourselves, we will be able to discover ourselves, and you will see that it will be more productive for us. And we will have a lot of gains. I tell you, if Africa discover themselves today, white men will be struggling to get our visa to come to Africa, because we don't have business in Western world. Western world is poor. They are not. They cannot compete with Africa. But the problem is that they have succeeded in destroying Africa by taking whatever we have and making sure. Let me give you an instance. Any country where you see that there's war in Africa is because of the mineral resources. Congo is the richest country in the world because of the mineral deposit they've got. They will never allow them to stay without war.
Yeah.
You understand? Let me give you an instance. Look at Libya. Libya that was very good, very okay. Libya was very functional when Gaddafi was there, but they struggled and killed Gaddafi. And what is happening in Libya today? Libya cannot come out of it. In this war, they can't come out of it. So, tell me, anywhere that you have war in Nigeria, where you have terrorists terrorizing in Nigeria, you go there, you see a lot of minerals that is being carted away by the white men. When they come, they give them gun, give them ammunitions, and take our resources and go. So we need to indigenize ourselves and understand. If a white man comes to cajole you to kill your fellow brother who is a leader because he doesn't want the ideology of the leader, tell him no. Like in Burkina Faso, he has suffered 27 attempts.
Yes, yes. And God has been saving him.
God has been saving him because his country people loves him. Even when they get one or two, do you see that they will be able to foil it because majority are behind him.
Yeah.
So that is what we want in Africa. We want Africa to be on their own. Africa is not supposed to be depending on aids. We don't need aid in Africa. We need to establish ourselves because we have what it takes to make the world. If Africa decides to use what they have by themselves to develop themselves, Western world will be poor overnight. Just like what is happening in France now. They have lost Niger, they have lost Mali, they have lost Burkina Faso, and they are losing many countries. I tell you, France in the next 10 years will be beggars because they don't have anything.
Are you sure that's not why they are trying to align themselves with Nigeria?
Yeah, they don't have anything. What is surviving them is the resources of these countries over years. Imagine they will take the resources from them at kobo and go to the open market and sell it how much they deserve. And the country you are getting it from are poor. They don't eat. You give them loan from their money and still charge them interest. You understand? So, but you can see they are losing those countries one by one. And I assure you that France will be hungry in the next 10 years. Whatever you have as reserve and it's not your natural resources will get finished.
Yeah, over time.
Over time, it will get finished. And when it's finished, you don't have any other one.
There's no one to exploit it.
Very soon, they will start running away from their country to go and work in other countries to make living, just like what is happening in Nigeria now. They will soon experience it. And you know, white men are not strong like us. Blacks can endure, but white cannot endure. Their own will be more disastrous than what we are seeing in Africa now. So that's exactly what we are passing through. And I pray that the idea of Traore will spread like wildfire in Africa.
Amen. A big amen.
Yes.
Gift, say amen. A big amen. Okay, so Gift, let me, I know our time is fast spent, but let me ask Mr. Obinna, looking at the fact that right now our leaders don't listen, how best do you think we can spread this message to them, with the exception of the TVs and all of that? They don't listen, but how can we get this message to them? All senators, please start wearing our traditional attires. Or how can we spread this message to them, let it trickle down to schools and all of that?
You see, the crop of leaders we have today is not the leaders you will be able to spread any message or send any message. Oh my goodness,
to. Now my heart is broken.
What we need
to do... Are we giving up on them so soon?
What we need to do is to start reaching out. Anybody that listens to you, talk to that person.
Okay.
Start talking. Start telling people. Let it spread.
Okay.
By so doing, we'll be able to phase out this crop of leaders and come up with leaders that understand us. That's the only thing we need to do. But the leaders today are not ready to listen.
Quite unfortunate.
Do you think there's any role we dressing culturally to our workplaces has in terms of benefits to the work?
Definitely, you work better when your mindset is okay. Yes, you work better when your mindset is
That's
okay. You
heavy.
achieve more when your mindset is okay. But if your mindset is traveling from Kafanchan to Lagos, I don't think you'll be able to work well. You will not achieve. Your productivity will be low. So if we discover ourselves, it will be better.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's a beautiful one. So, for me, I would say any day I come to the office with my traditional attire, Mr. Godsent and Co. Nobody should harass me, even though nobody has harassed me before. But nobody should,
I'm
because
also taking
it's
a
not
leave from
exactly.
that.
It's no longer Friday thing. Monday through Sunday, if I choose to wear my traditional attire, please, that is me
I've
being
even
comfortable.
made most of my suits with Ankara.
Ankara,
Wow.
beautiful.
Yes, I made
Beautiful.
most of my suits with Ankara.
What you have on, this is a replica of what we have in English, and it looks very beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's funny enough, it's even going to cost less than that one you buy in the boutique, and they tell you, oh, it's from UK,
Turkey.
it's from
Yes,
Turkey,
US.
it's from
yes,
whatever.
yes.
So it's
But one thing about us now is that most of us are going back. We sew what we wear now. We don't import. Somebody like me, all my wardrobes, there's no imported clothes. I sew
awesome.
them. I sew them in Aba. I sew them in Abuja here. So that's how I sew my clothes. And most people, that's why you see that most tailors are living well now, because
Yes.
they are being patronized.
Yeah.
Most of our clothes are being sold.
Yes.
And I think we'll continue in that trend. And we also we'll try to revive our local clothes. Like in Igbo land, there's a cloth they call akwete.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's no longer there now. In Yoruba, they have their own. In Hausa, they have their own. In other tribes, they have their own. We need to start reviving it. See what we can do to produce it in large quantity in Nigeria, so that we'll continue in our way of life. You can use it to sew suits. You can use it to sew your up and down. You can use it to sew anything you want to sew. By so doing, we will increase the reach of our culture, and at the same time, try to make us to understand that not japaing is not the solution.
Even our revenue.
Yeah.
It's bringing it back.
It will bring it back. You understand?
This is
It
really
makes it will
awesome.
make our currency to be stronger.
Yeah.
Because when you don't import and you have everything you need, you will have what you need locally. For example, now in Burkina Faso, anybody that wants to do anything, he will tell you to come and begin to manufacture in Burkina Faso.
We'll take that as your last word.
Yes.
Okay.
Come and manufacture in Burkina Faso, so that we'll have job, we have revenue, and we can export, not just importing things.
That's awesome.
Okay.
You know, when you was talking about him making his clothes about it just struck my mind that Nigerians are very creative people. I don't know, this award that was just, you need to
like,
see
stunning.
mad, very very stunning. It's so beautiful how people just sit down to imagine things and they create it and it comes out beautiful. Oh, by the way, viewers, in case you don't know, Gift here is a beautiful fashion designer. She designs very well. She sews, so don't mind the fact that she's sitting down here. She does all of that and
putting
more.
on this.
Yeah, not a problem. I'm sure the next time you come on set, you come on your traditional attire. So Gift sews very well. She's a very good fashion designer. You need to see their creative minds. Sitting down here, I think I can create one or two. Unfortunately, I don't know how to sew. I don't know why I didn't learn that from my mom.
It's not too late. It's not
I
too
didn't know.
late.
You know, she was one of the best during her time, but I didn't learn. It was only my two sisters that learned. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well then,
Your
for
last
me, I'll
word.
just keep advising Nigerians, like Mr. Obi Nauduche said. Let's patronize our own. Nobody will come to patronize us if we don't love ourselves. So you have to love yourself first. Even the Bible said, love your neighbor as yourself. So you must love yourself first before you're able to love your neighbor. If you don't patronize your made in Nigeria, don't expect others to patronize you. So charity begins at home.
I like that last word. Charity begins at home. All right, viewers, thank you for joining us on today's episode. I'm Gift Inaji, and until next time, keep the conversation going and wear your culture with pride. Whether it's Monday or Friday, do have a great week ahead. Bye for now.